Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to take you through one of the most important documents called Project Charter. So you could be wondering as to what is this Project Charter. So in a nutshell, Project Charter is just a document that authorizes the start of a project. So it's also a document that is used to commit resources into the project. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Oscar Mbira. I'm a certified program and project manager. In this video, I'm going to take you through the understanding, the reasons and the validity of a document called Project Charter. So in a project environment, during initiation, there is a document called Project Charter. And this document is quite important for every project. Why is it important? It's because it is the document that authorizes the start of the project. It is the document that shows commitment from the business or from the organization to start a project. So it is one of the documents that you have to create during initiation. It has to be signed off by the sponsor. In most cases, you find, especially for small projects, it's actually created by the sponsor. But in some big projects, you'll find that the sponsor might actually work with the project manager or even the PMO, which is Project Management Office, to complete this document. And then it is approved by the organization or by senior management. This document normally contains high level details, which can also be expanded later into or during project planning. So let us start by understanding what is a project charter. So a project charter is a document that is created during initiation stage of a project, and it's used mainly for three main purposes. So the first one is the document that is used to authorize the project. So let me expand a bit on this. So you don't just start by running a project in a business environment or in any organization. In most cases, projects, they consume a lot of resources, both human resources and also non-human resources. So committing those resources into a project, it requires some level of approval from the organization or even from the business or even from the government. So assuming an organization has decided to embark on a certain project, say for example, to create a product or even to improve some service and or even during research. So when the organization or business decided to do that, they must formally approve that. They must formally authorize the start or the initiation of that project. So how do they do that? They do it through the project charter. At that point, you might realize that the project charter might not have so much in terms of detail. It's normally high-level details that you find in a project charter at that particular point. Say, for example, if you look at what are the deliverables. Deliverables, in most cases, they are very clear. Not detailed, but they are very clear. I can give you a good example. Say, for example, the bank, it's a banking project, and they want to change their core banking system. So the main deliverable is a working core banking system that is also integrated with other channels like internet banking, like ATMs, and so on and so forth. Then you also have sections like time frame. At this point, it's not going to be a detailed schedule. Say, for example, the project I was giving as an example on banking, they might say, as an organization, we need this project to run for 2 years, as an example, or even 18 months, as an example. So that is what you normally capture in the project charter. Then, after being authorized, which means the project manager has been appointed, he has been also assigned to the project, and the authority of the project manager has also been defined. So that is the start of commitment, of application, of use of organization or business resources. So a project charter will also help the business to assign a project manager and also to give the authority of a project manager. A project manager might have different authority within the project, depending on the type of project. If it's going to be more on the functional, the project manager might be part-time. But assuming it is a projectized environment, which means the project manager is going to have control and authority over the resources. Then the second purpose also you're going to see is assignment of project manager as well as their project sponsor. And in some cases, they even create a project board or steering committee. And they also capture the expected participants in the project board or the expected stakeholders in the project board or steering committee. Then the third one that you also see is the definition, okay, or the description at a high level of the project, the benefits of the project, the business case of the project, why the project is being undertaken by the organization or even by the business. So that is also very, very important. So that is the main purpose of why you need a project charter. Project authorization, project initiation, assignment of project manager, assignment of sponsor, definition of actual deliverables, and validation of the business case. I hope so enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification button so that you're the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. So in this section of the video, we are going to cover what are the informational inputs into the project charter. So what do we mean by this? We are looking at what feeds into this creation of a project charter. Assuming you've been requested to assist or to advise or even to create a project charter, you need to understand exactly what information feeds into the project charter. We call them inputs into the project charter. So there are basically 4 inputs that you normally find in a project charter. The first one is agreements. In most cases, it might not be a contract as such, especially if it is an internal project. But if it is something that is going to involve external vendors, as an example, you will find that you have agreements or even contracts before you even create the charter. So when the organization or the company, they've gone through their procurement, they've also selected their vendor, they are going to sign agreements with the vendor with so many clauses within the agreement or the contract. If you want to understand more about project contract types, I've created a video on project contract types. You can also check it on my channel. I'll also leave a link in the description below. So agreements or contracts, they are going to feed into the project charter. There are certain information that you need from the agreements. Say, for example, you have agreed on the length or period of the project, which we're talking about milestones. So you can pick that information also. You are also able to pick stakeholders when you're creating stakeholder lists. You can also pick them from agreements and also from contracts to feed into your project charter. You can even capture some of the boundaries we're talking about, that is constraints. How are you limiting the project, and so on and so forth. Then you can also even capture some of the financial resources. A vendor is someone who's going to be paid outside the organization. They request a certain amount, a certain fee. You might also want to capture that. So in terms of inputs, agreements or contracts, they are also used as inputs into the project charter. Then there are 2 documents also which are very important as inputs into a project charter. These are called business documents. There are 2 business documents that we're going to cover. So the first one is the business case. So a business case is a document that is created to validate the need or the reasons why you should embark on that specific project. For example, the business case might define that maybe you want to increase customer satisfaction. That is the business case that you have. It can also be because of regulatory requirements. You know, there are certain reasons why projects are initiated, and one of them is regulatory requirements. The other one, it could be even a social requirement that we have. In some cases, it could be even technology. Okay, so the business case must define exactly why you are embarking on that particular project. Why are you doing that project? What is expected of that project? How is the business going to see that there's benefit from that project? So you also need to use the business case, which is normally done way before the project is executed or before the project is actually approved or initiated. So you need to take that document as an input as you're creating your project charter. And then the next one is the business benefits plan. So in most cases, projects are used to create change, and change comes with certain benefits. So most organizations, they want to understand and appreciate how are we going to benefit from this project, and after how long, do we have certain dates, and so on and so forth. So that is why it's called a plan or even strategy. So in most projects, especially predictive projects, you'll find the benefits are normally realized towards the end. But in an agile project, the benefits might even be realized during the project when you're creating what are called minimum viable products. So the benefit realization plan should always be an input into your project charter. You want to make sure that a certain benefit, when is it going to be realized? In some cases, you'll find some of these benefits, they are actually realized way after the project. So that is why it is an organizational document that must remain. It's not like a project management document that should be initiated and closed during the project. It might be realized later. Okay. So those are the two documents, business documents that you should use as inputs into the project charter. Then the other document you should expect is what is called a statement of work. Statement of work, in most cases, it works very well if you are working with the external vendors, because they are defining exactly what is going to be covered in the project, how is it going to be executed, what is required to execute. Say, for example, like I was giving you a banking project example which I was involved in. The statement of work might define the modules that are also involved, and probably the integrations into external systems from the banking system that are also involved. So statement of work also works as an input into the project charter. However, in some cases, you might not have statement of work, and therefore you might not push yourself to try to look for that. So in summary, there are 4 expected inputs into the project charter. The first one, which is the agreements or the contracts that were agreed before you start the project, for you to identify stakeholders. And then also you have the business case, which means the reason why you are undertaking the project, the benefits of that project is defined there. And also the benefits realization plan. How are you going to realize the benefits from that project? In most cases, you don't just do projects. There must be some benefit towards that. Then the last one is statement of work. Statement of work might exist or might not exist. But if it exists, then you can use it also as an input when you're creating the project charter. If you want me to create additional videos based on what we have covered in this video, or there's a concept or there's an idea which you think you need additional videos on that, you can reach out to me, or you can let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.